Now, I don't want to sound like annoying for saying this, but I would never consume alcohol. I just don't do it. And again, if you do alcohol, if you know how to control your your alcohol or beer intake, I'm fine, right? If you're like the calm alcoholic who likes to have his drink, relax for the night, I'm gonna move on. That's fine with me. The alcoholics that I have a problem with are the ones that don't know how to control themselves, the ones that like to piss everywhere, vomit, cause problems, get into fights. I hate it. And I hate that because I have experiences with alcoholics. I myself have never drunk alcohol. I've never I've never drunk it before. And I don't plan on doing so because it's that bad. My experience with alcoholics is a traumatizing one because I had to experience alcoholic adults since I was very, very young. A lot of the people on my mom's side and on my dad's side, unfortunately, are heavy alcoholics. And you would even see more alcoholics at like kids' birthday parties. You know, I know that many of you don't like mentioning race, but I feel like it's important. But as a Latino, I've always found it weird how there would be alcohol at a kid's birthday party. Like that's weird. Why would you put beer at a kid's birthday party? And I know that this is a custom for many people. You're celebrating a young kid turning a certain age. But don't you think you should have an after party for adults a little bit later? I've been seeing like a bunch of grown-ass Latino men, and if not grown-ass people from other world, they would use kids' birthday parties as an excuse to drink. I think that's weird. If you want to drink at a kid's birthday party, do it when the kids are asleep. When the kids are all over and they're like, hey, thank you guys for coming over to the birthday party. Here's a little after party we have planned. That's it. That's all you have to do. But no, they want to fucking drink at a child's birthday party and then get upset when the child grows up traumatized about not wanting to drink alcohol, or at least the child ends up becoming an alcoholic themselves. Kids learn from their parents. And I don't hate myself. I don't hate my heritage. I love being who I am. I love the fact that my parents are from a different part of the world. I'm not ashamed to ever say any of that. What I'm not afraid to do is to call out the flaws in my community. But another thing that I want to bring up, right, with alcoholism is that is how detrimental it can be to the drinker and to the people around them. Like I said before, kids get traumatized from it. I was one of those kids who got traumatized by an alcoholic parent. My mom luckily was not an alcoholic, but unfortunately, when her and my dad had split up, she would go out of her way to find her own place in the world. She would try and find new partners. Unfortunately, she was trying to find love in the wrong places, as a lot of these men ended up being alcoholics. And let me just say this right now. I don't care if you go out clubbing. I don't care if you go out. I don't care if you go out to dance and have your little drink and whatnot, go for a little bit of wine, and you want to party and dance. That does not bother me. But trying to find love at a bar... No, I'm sorry. Trying to find love at a bar or at a club is like trying to find an African rhino in the middle of Antarctica. That shit doesn't fucking exist. You can go anywhere in the world to find love. You ain't gonna find it at a place that is designed to just get wasted and not make any sense. I mean, maybe you might get lucky, but you might accidentally end up kissing a man. The person you might end up, doing it with might have some kind of disease. Maybe they're an abusive asshole who abuses alcohol too much, which is why they're at the bar in the first place. Again, I'm cool with people going to these places, right? You want to go to the bar, you want to watch a good game of football, baseball, or maybe you just want a quick little drink. Everybody deserves their enjoyment. I do not agree on the idea of banning alcohol. They tried that in the past. It didn't work. All it led to is more crime. What I do believe is that if you're somebody who knows how to control their alcohol intake, then go for it. But if you can't control your alcohol intake, you're better off just quitting. You're better off quitting because what you are doing is bringing problems to the people around you. No one deserves to suffer because of your alcoholism. No one deserves to suffer because of your addiction. And this doesn't just go for alcohol. This goes for drugs as well, which I'm going to make a video on the weed addiction because that's another issue that I had. It's not that big of an issue, so it might be a little bit of a shorter video, but it was still an issue nonetheless. I never smoked, well, I have smoked weed. I just I didn't like the experience. Also, people told me that they prefer me to be cleaner, so I took their advice and I never smoked weed ever again after about 2-3 times, and I moved on with life. But back to alcohol. Alcoholism can get so bad that at a young age, people will do anything to have a sip. Literally. So, my older brother, who is a piece of shit that I never want to talk to ever again, I will make a video on him too, he's a fucking dickhead. He had a habit of stealing from times. He wasn't a kleptomaniac, but he definitely wasn't a good person, and I'm honestly glad that he's not in a great place. And I know saying that is fucked up, but the way he traumatized me, it'll never... I'm sorry, he just won't get any sympathy from me. But he would steal alcohol bottles. My mom, she would have these bottles as just paperweights. She never drunk them. They were just there for design and fashion. She would have them sometimes hidden away as well, because she never wanted us to ever touch that alcohol. But my brother, being the weirdo that he is, he would find access to the alcohol, and he would sneak it behind my mom's back. Yes, he would grab it and then sneak it behind my mom's back to his friend's house. He would sneak off with it. He'd take it to his friend's house, and they would drink. One time, my mom caught him stealing an expensive bottle, and it never went well. Unfortunately, however, because my mom, I don't know what is wrong with her, she never held my brother accountable for almost any bad thing he did. And the fact that your son, who at the time was underage, was literally stealing alcohol, an expensive bottle at that, the fact that you never fully punished him for that is what pisses me off. He's done worse, and he's still never faced any consequences. But I believe that as soon as your son or child of any sort is getting into drugs and alcohol, I think that's a serious issue you should never ignore, as that can lead to just even worse habits. I myself was already traumatized with my father being an alcoholic, who was abusive to my mom. I was already traumatized with my mom's future boyfriends, and it was already bad enough with the environment that I lived in, seeing a bunch of drunk people just passed out on the street. All I wanted to do was go to a corner store, get a nice little drink, maybe some M&Ms or a quick honey bun or whatnot, and it'd be some dude with a beer can just passed out, asking for change in his sleep, telling myself, well, man, you got a quarter and whatnot. Also, you can buy himself another can of beer. But no, it gets to a point, and the fact that he was never held accountable was already a big of a problem. Let me just say this right now. Again, I'm not against anybody consuming alcohol. Again, if you know how to control it, then that is you. I am completely fine. What I don't want you to do is to act as if it can't be a problem. Alcohol can be a problem. Any addiction can be bad. Alcoholism, gambling, porn addiction, even video game addiction. If you play too many video games, that's bad for you. But, there's a lot of addictions out there that are bad. But I think alcoholism being such a public, not being a nuance to the public is crazy. Drunk drivers have killed more people than, any fucking driver. It's weird. Most of the reckless driving is just drunk driving. People are always fucking drinking, getting in trouble. And then the next morning they wake up, they're like, huh? What? What do you mean I'm getting in trouble for this? You literally nearly killed somebody on the road. You know that, right? You know that you were abusing somebody the night before? You are aware, right? Literally, drunk people do so much messed up shit. And they wake up the next morning, wake up, and then they're like, huh? What happened? What happened is that you fucked up. That's what. So, do me a favor, and if you're not somebody who can't control their alcohol, don't do it. It's not worth it. You're better off not drinking at all than you are taking a small sip, because you never know when it can trigger that addiction to return. And if you're somebody who can, please remain that way. Don't change. Don't give in. Have your little sip every now and then, but when you know enough is enough, it is enough. Leave it alone at that. It's not worth risking your entire future, your entire life also, you can drink more and more, and you all of a sudden you're surprised that your life went to shit because of a poor decision you made. Take care of yourself. Anyways, that's all I want to talk about. I will be making another video soon on a different topic as well. Stay tuned for that. I'm just getting started with this YouTube thing. It's a bit difficult, but I'm honestly glad that many of you stuck around, because I never thought it would get this personal, but I figured why not, right? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and good night as well, as it's nighttime right now where I am on the East Coast. Thank you.